It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It's that time for a cup of coffee with Wild Will,
Uncle Chris.
right here at Slumberland at the lake. We're going to have Dan Barber, our good friend from Surdike Yamaha, on to talk about the Ride for Freedom coming up, one of the coolest annual events you don't want to miss, plus a big weekend review for our friends at Central Ozarks Medical Center.
Yeah, they had a lot going on. You were out there for all that fun, weren't you?
Yeah, we had a blast. We'll tell you about the ribbon cutting at the Hub, plus their Kidapalooza Fun Fest, first annual event over the weekend. Unique Brindley, we were out there. It was awesome. We'll show you some of that. Plus, did you see the news about Papa Chubby's?
I did. It looks like they're really expanding.
Yeah, they offered some renderings. We're going to tell you about the new Lakeside Resort. Going to be massive. We're going to catch you up on the boat explosion. They announced some names, and more people hurt than initially reported in that. Plus, really good news, the Lake of the Ozarks Idiots Club celebrates $1 million given back to kids in need locally.
Yeah.
We were there. We'll show you that, plus a very special hometown hero, that and a whole lot more after this from Slumberland. And when we come back, we're going to have Dan Barber with Surdike Yamaha.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We still have our 56th anniversary sale going on. You need to come check it out. Great deals for every room of the house. Come sit on it, lay on it, test drive it. We have great deals, special financing, and come win a new car. Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
All right, as we welcome you back, as promised, we have Dan Barber from Surdike Yamaha, my good friend. And Dan, we're here to talk about one of your guys' biggest annual events, the Ride for Freedom. It's coming up, but first I want you to tell us, what is the Ride for Freedom?
Well, the Ride for Freedom, this will be our 8th annual Ride for Freedom. This all started back when, people weren't being so nice to our first responders, the police. They wanted to defund them, and you walk around town, you just see a look in their eye like, man, I'm not so sure about all this. And we tried to figure out a way to bring our community together and show them we cared and give them a day off on the lake.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. So Greg Surdike and me, we sat down and we brainstormed and we came up with, well, we're going to release all the rentals to anyone that signs up that's a first responder, military, or retired military. We're going to give you a wave runner or a boat for the day. We're going to feed you. We're going to give you a day in the lake. We're going to come back and then we're going to give away prizes. And the prize pool has grown throughout the years. Every year we give away at least 5 guns, and then all the local businesses donate. So we never know what we're going to have up there. We just pull a tab, you go up and pick, and as long as you qualify for that prize, you take it home.
I'm telling you, it's an incredibly fun day. And so for people out there, they're wondering, how do I know if I'm eligible? Who all qualifies to come by and get a free ride or a free ski for the day?
Well, everybody that is a first responder, and you know who you are. You drive an ambulance, you're a dispatcher, police, firefighter.
Military veteran.
Military and veterans, whatever
fire.
the case may be. You know who you are.
Awesome. So
You don't always want to say who you are, but come on out and get some recognition. We're going to take good care of you.
It's such a fun day. And hey, maybe a PWC is too much for you. I know the first year I went, I was not seasoned on a wave runner, and you guys gave me a real souped up newer one, and I was riding it full throttle the whole way. I was so sore. So maybe the wave runner's not for you. You guys have jet boat and other options to ride along. But some of the most fun is like the breakfast that starts at Port 20. So talk about some of the events along the way and before and after.
Well, we're going to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and Ginger, Surdike and Woods Supermarket, are going to put together a continental breakfast for you right there at the marina. We're going to have a picnic table set up outside, the flag, and at 8:45, we'll have our super secret guest national anthem singers this year.
We're working on something big for you guys.
And I think you're going to be really surprised when you find out who they are and what they can do, because we were surprised as well.
Yeah, we were pretty excited. So stay tuned. Make sure you're there for that. You don't want to miss that.
And after the national anthem, Greg will give the safety speech as required by the Water Patrol for a regatta permit for having 50 to 80 wave runners all traveling at once up and down the lake.
Safety is important, and you guys are always really safe. We love that.
and we'll take off from there. There'll be a lead boat and a trail boat. The fire department will be in the trail boat. If you have any issues, flag them down, or anybody else. We'll have mechanics that are on the route to pull sticks out of your impellers, or if you need a tow, we're going to pull you to the dock and put you in another boat. We're going to get you there and back, whatever it takes.
And we've seen stuff happen from, something happening, running out of gas. I mean, someone didn't know what they were doing, and you always take care of them and get them back and take care of the...
Like the year we come up to the corner and me and your cameraman look over to the left and there's a boat about a quarter mile in stuck in 2 foot of mud.
Yeah. I was not driving that boat, so be careful. People will see this and be like, that had to be Will driving that thing.
And it was a $1,200 tow to get them out. And how many guys do we have? About 8 or 10 of us in one waiver and pulled them out by hand.
Yeah.
Put the boat up on its side. We got them out. We finished the event. We were a little dirty and a little muddy, but...
Memories for life.
Something you'll never forget.
That and a lot more. And hey, now this one, it's always been your and Greg's baby, this event. But this one, a little different, a little special for you. You've been battling an illness and you've got some serious medical expenses. And so the event and the Surdike family and your family at Surdike Yamaha are using this event to help you with some of those expenses. So share that with us if you would.
Well, as most of you know from the Yellow Profile magazine article, several years back, that when I returned from my deployment, I got a big surprise when I got home, and it was stage 4 carcinoid liver cancer. Not the welcome home present you'd want, but
right.
You take it and you run with it. And we did a big search after everybody told us no and found a doctor in Germany to hook me up, and here I am 13, 14 years later, still kicking. But it's time to light the fire again and shoot a little poison in me and kick it back again. And we were having a little trouble with the insurances, with the, how do I say this nicely? The federal government.
Yeah, just say as you guys can relate and understand, there's always something with insurance companies, and so that's left with some serious added expenses as you travel to Germany and get these treatments. And so this event is actually going to be a benefit for that as well. So everyone that signs up, the Surdike family is donating $100 to the cause, correct?
Correct.
And so we're encouraging you guys to come out. And so you said this is the 8th annual?
I believe so.
Ride for Freedom. So much fun. And you said we got the surprise national anthem, plus the prize package. And then the dinner afterwards is donated by 3 brothers.
And we haven't even got to that yet. Once you go on the ride at lunch, we're going to stop at Patriot Point to 60. And they're the most patriotic marina on the lake. They're going to fire up their pizza maker and make pizza for every rider to have a free lunch.
That's awesome.
And last year they fed us as well.
So everyone's fed well. You get down to Truman, you come back, probably a couple stops along the way. You don't want to miss it. But when you get back, there's kind of a dinner reception.
That's with dog days.
And tell us just a little bit about that.
Well, you'll come back to Port 20 if you want. You can put your wave runners up and drive over to Dog Days, which is a lot easier than parking your wave runners at the docks and stuff, because there'll be so many of us. So we encourage you to do that and drive over. We're going to start the meal around 5 to 5:30. The prizes will be laid out on the table, and after the meal, we'll have pull tabs for everybody that qualified or donated. And you'll go up to the table, pick out your prize. Craig will say a few words, and we'll have a lot of happy, tired campers. And you're welcome to stay at Dog Days. I believe they've got a band that night, possibly. And good food and drinks.
And the meat from 3 brothers that's going to be donated, going to be phenomenal. And all the additional benefits go to local first responders and causes. So an incredible day, the Ride for Freedom with Surdike Yamaha. And I didn't tell you, it's Sunday, September 10th, and you can register ahead of time and highly encouraged to do so at surdikeyamaha.com. Dan, I thank you for your time, my friend. Keep fighting the good fight. Appreciate you, brother. Great seeing you again, and we'll see you on Sunday, September 10th.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back on Cup of Coffee right after this. Don't miss our next LOZ feature doc series presented by Jonathan Hartenstein, broker associate with Lake Ozark Real Estate. We're going to be with Mike Hudson, the owner of Dockworks here at his dock. He's going to show us the custom features and maybe even take us for a ride on his MTI 390X. Don't miss it on our next LOZ featured doc. All right, so as we welcome you back, man, Love that guy. Dan's the man. And he's really big with Cert Ike Yamaha, been part of that event. You wouldn't believe the first time they convinced me to go on that event, like I was talking about.
I've heard the stories,
I rode it
yeah.
8 hours that day, full throttle, like a schmo. I spent the next 2 or 3 days in bed working with a heating pad from a laptop.
I tell you, you got to be in good shape to be riding like a jet ski or whatever.
Or just not full throttle and
Oh,
hitting
my
every
gosh.
single wake.
You are, because you're hitting every wake in there and you're jumping them and having fun.
I'm just so thankful that you're on the back of a Yamaha Wave Runner and not like a Sea-Doo or a Kawasaki, because it makes it a lot easier and you're there for the long run. So, all right, so as we look back at a huge week for Central Ozarks Medical Center, the official medical provider of Lake TV. They had the Hub ribbon cutting. We've been telling you all about the incredible services they offer at the Hub in the Bagnell Dam Strip. They even got those Narcan vending machines now at all of their locations spread out. They're expanding, big stuff going on there. And then also their first annual Kidapalooza Fun Fest they had at the Camdenton location. It was awesome. They had vendors out there, a lot of the nonprofits. They had police, fire out there for the kids to get in the cars and check out the inside of a fire truck. And, I had to pretend that I wanted to do it so I could show Brindley,
Right,
but really I
but
couldn't
you wanted
wait
to
to
do
get
it.
inside of the
Absolutely.
fire truck
What
and
did you
pull that
most
horn.
want to be when you were a kid, when you grew up? Did you want to be like a fireman or a policeman, or what did you want to be?
I wanted to be the voice of the Buffalo Bills or the Chicago Cubs.
Wow.
Seriously.
Really?
That was
Wow.
ever since I was like 5 or 6. But so they had the first responders on site, free food provided by our buddy Captain Ron. Listen, he wasn't out there for shootout or for basketball or for title company. Him and Nicole and Brooklyn and Colton, and they were out there grilling burgers and dogs, and then Woods donated chips and soda. It was incredible. They even had jump houses and something that you probably wouldn't have tried. They had an inflatable colon that you could walk through.
An inflatable colon?
Yes, it was walk through.
Wow.
But it gave you inside, it showed you the different serious things that you need to be screened for and looked for. And it was really a good visualization for you to know that's serious. And so that was cool. The kids loved that. They had toys, giveaways. It was just a day. And after the event, I talked to you. I figured that you would enjoy that.
I'm just wondering how realistic this was, Did
You'll see. You'll
have
see
a
there's-
fart machine in there or what? I don't know, yeah.
Leave it to you, of course. Now we're going to get a call from our friends at Central Ozarks
Sorry
Medical.
about that. How red can I turn, right?
That's hilarious. Well, so I talked to Kelly Millers after the event, and she said, listen, great turnout. We're already working on the event for next year. We're really excited. And a lot of people attended that event, and it was an opportunity for the community to have fun, no charge, with their kids, and also learn about the nonprofits and some of the things from your dental, your mental health, your behavioral health, and those things. They had different booths set up to kind of walk you
They
through
pretty
that.
much cover everything, don't they? From behavioral health, mental health, dental health, and of course all that good stuff. So yeah, it's great that we have them here.
And I saw a balloon artist, like making balloons out there. It was
making
Mark.
colons or what
No, he was making dogs and
Okay.
different stuff like
Wow.
that. But big week for our friends at Central Ozarks Medical Center, and they've got other news on the horizon we're going to be breaking pretty soon as well. Other local nonprofits, as we keep that trend going, Lake of the Ozarks Idiots Club, they hit $1 million officially.
That's amazing.
Last Thursday.
And so many people think you and I
Are the Lake of
make
the
up the Idiots Club, but no, it's a real cool organization raising money for
Jesters
charity.
of Goodwill.
That's right.
Yeah, is what they call themselves. But they're in their 9th year. They started in 2014. Denny and Dana Heiner, so many of you know, retired school teachers. They raised $5,000 in that inaugural year. And the organization itself is a 501(c)(3), and the Jesters of Goodwill, they're dedicated to helping youth in need in Lake of the Ozarks, from clothes, weekend food, school activity, equipment, dual credit scholarships, and believe it or not, more than 58% of youth at Lake of the Ozarks fall under the poverty line. And so in comes this incredible organization, and since 2014, it's continued to grow, officially hitting $1 million Thursday, as they delivered over 100 pairs of shoes and hygiene items for the back-to-school fair at the Hurricane Deck Elementary School, part of the Camdenton School District. Incredible. Superintendent Dr. Sean Kirksey was on hand, different administrators, and all of their volunteers. That's what you can't get over, is no one is paid in this organization. And the volunteers come in droves. They're everywhere, and they were all on hand delivering these shoes and being part of this special event. They had an inflatable balloon, and as you talk with Denny and Dana Heiners, we have many times, you can see their passion for this. And as Denny was talking with the group there as they celebrated $1 million, you know, he kind of was choked up because everyone was giving him credit, and he goes, this isn't really about me. This is about all these kids that are in need, and it's so important to them and so near and dear to their heart. Now $1 million, and no one gets any of that money. It goes directly to the kids.
Did you say that the first year they only got 5,000?
The year total.
Man, did they pick up after that first year?
Yeah, serious, aggressive growth. And now Denny and Dana, although they're not going away, as you know, they're transitioning out of the lead role, and in come Kelly and Max Fishbach, who are the new executive directors, and they're phenomenal, really synergize well with the Heiners, and they're going to keep that vision intact and continue to carry that forward. But unbelievable, in 9 years, that's over $100,000 a year they've given directly to these kids. And it's pretty special, and you know the impact and how far that has had to go.
And you know, again, that's just what makes this community so amazingly special. You've got another organization like that, like the Idiots Club, helping the local community and those in need. And we've got so many great organizations like that. So that's probably the biggest reason why this is such a great place to live.
And we're actually working on a really extensive, cool, featured nonprofit presented by our friends at Our Veterinary, but it's a deep dive and look at the history of the Idiots Club from Denny and Dana's start to where it is now, to celebrating the $1 million. And so look forward to that late fall, early winter of 23. Okay, so as we move ahead, a couple of things. There's more details on that crazy boat explosion that initially reported injured 16, actually looked to be 17, and some of these injuries severe. Really fortunate no one passed away.
Yeah, like that other crazy boat crash a few weeks ago. So Missouri State Highway Patrol releasing more details about that explosion. 17 people injured. This was Friday, August 11th, a little after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, according to the Missouri State Water Patrol. Matthew Simcox, 41, from O'Fallon, was fueling his 2000 Carver Cabin boat at Milestone Arena. I think that's up in Gravois Mills.
It is, yeah.
In that area. When Simcox started the boat, Patrol says that caused an explosion in the engine compartment. Simcox, the driver, sustained minor injuries, believe it or not. I mean, you think that would have been possibly fatal. So this Millstone Marina located the 6.7 mile marker, the Osage Arm, there in Gravois Mills. According to a Millstone gas dock employee who wanted to remain anonymous for various reasons, the boat blower was turned on, but the explosion still occurred when the boat ignition was started up. And I don't know much about, I'm not really a mechanical person, but those inboard motors, I think, you really got to, after you fuel those things up, you really got to clean out the fumes, or something like this can happen and does happen. So 17 people in the boat party, in addition to 5 minors, were injured. So all of these folks, except for one, were from Missouri. The one was from California, an 18-year-old. All of the others from Weldon Springs, O'Fallon, and Wentzville, it looks like. But again, just shockingly enough, nobody killed in this.
Yeah, and there's 3 young juveniles, you know, that were in it. It's very disheartening, but so fortunate, very blessed that no one did live serious injuries. But, you know, as you mentioned, Chris, I am not intelligent when it comes to those type of things on the water. So if someone else is not an expert on a boat, I'm not going out on the water. I don't try to drive it. I don't try to dock it. I definitely don't try to fuel it or know that stuff, because I know it's dangerous, and without knowledge, and even when you have knowledge, stuff can happen. And so I don't want to insinuate that someone did something ill or, you know, took a bad step. But you really have to be careful. And here's another example.
Yeah.
The end of the story is very blessed that everybody walked away, or has at least lived, following this crazy accident.
Yeah, 2 occupants had exited the boat. They were on the dock when the explosion happened. 11, including the driver, were treated at the scene and released. So obviously minor. 2 were transported to the hospital by ambulance, and 2 others by private conveyance in their own car. So again, just shocking nobody was killed in this thing, but it does remind us the seriousness of, you know, I mean, this isn't a game here. You know, I mean, everybody come to the lake to have fun, get out on the water, be on the boat and stuff like that, but you know, if you don't do it right, it can be catastrophic.
Yeah, and I want to remind people, you know, we've over the years have built really cool boating and fueling and dock safety videos with the Missouri State Highway Patrol Water Patrol Division, and we need to bring those back. I know those play on TV. We'll get those out on Facebook just to remind you, because that really walks you through a lot of those things that I may not know, but the Water Patrol Division absolutely knows, and we have those out there. So we'll redistribute those. Other thing I wanted to say, we mentioned it, Papa Chubby's.
Yeah.
You know, used to be Food and Booze, right?
We were just there, right?
We were just there. We took our company outing, a boat outing. It was like, what, 14 of us? Great night. And we went by at a great meal there. But the new ownership posted to their Facebook page on Friday, we have decided that it's time to share some of the projected plans for Papa Chubby's Lakeside Resort. We're excited to announce this and are ready to share some 3D renderings of a portion of their development. You can see these pictures here.
How cool is that?
Big pools,
Wow.
you know, crazy landscape changes, all these RV slips, upgraded and additional padded RV spots, cabins, an additional restaurant, and pools await. You know, I didn't really see a timetable, but these were just kind of a tease. And I'll tell you, the excitement happened quick because it had over 1,000 shares Tuesday morning from their page, and that was a lot of engagement. But did you see those renderings?
I did. I mean, they're serious about this. Somebody's putting some money into this, because that is some big time growth there.
Yeah, and we're seeing that become more common, you know, here at the lake. Huge development, a lot of massive investment, and it's a great place to do so.
And let me tell you, they got some pretty good ice cream drinks over there at Papa Chubby's. Was out there with some friends last week, and I had this thing called, what was it, like a chocolate mocha or something. Holy cow. I think I'm going to move in there and just live there, man. You don't need dinner. You just need one of those babies, right?
Is it a milkshake?
It is like a milkshake, yeah, absolutely.
Can I drink it?
I don't think you can, because it is got a little bit of alcohol.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
So it's an adult drink, which is, I'm sure people love. So
you could have a virgin one, though. I mean, you know, no booze and still be nice ice cream and chocolate.
I'm real happy with the milkshake. I'm a milkshake guy.
Me too, man. That's why I look like this.
That's funny. All right, so as we move ahead, I wanted to say football season just a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I don't have to get everyone else's approval. We're not doing that right now. We're doing that at the end.
I got all my picks already, man.
But instead of doing a regular pick'em league this year, Andrew likes it. I like it. But what about a confidence league, and it will track it for us, all online?
What is that? What is it?
So like your most confident pick of the week starts at, if there's 14 games, 14 points. And then the one that you're like, man, that could go either way, you'd put 1 point on that.
Okay. I like the old way, but you know.
Okay, will you track the old way?
If you kids want to do it
track the old way each week and keep the standings?
No.
Okay, because the confidence league,
too much work, man.
Yahoo does it all for you.
Okay.
And it sends the email reminder to us, and then it tracks it. So I think that's the route. Are you good with that?
Okay.
Well, Kevin Hornick's going to win, so it doesn't really matter.
Just because I let him win last year.
Here,
Yeah,
I'm going to get texts as soon as the show airs tomorrow, as you're watching, Kev. All right, so as we move ahead, football season pick'em. We're going to go that direction. And then stay tuned to Facebook, because we're going to predict in our Sports Weekly each division winner, our MVP, our Super Bowl winner, and our dark horse MVP winner in our Sports Weekly. So he looks confident.
I got it all figured out already, man.
All right, so as we move ahead, summer here. Before it goes, all the big events about to start taking place, including the Lake of the Ozarks shootout this weekend. If you're watching it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, starting with the meet and greet. Incredible. Have you been down to the mini shootout before?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, incredible.
Absolutely. Ha-ha Tonka. Yeah.
Watching these remote control guys hit these crazy speeds and flip, and it's going to be awesome. We'll have lots of coverage, so stay tuned to Lake TV shootout coverage, powered by Lake Ozark Real Estate Broker Associate Jonathan Hartenstein. And then following that, big weekend next week with the shootout, but that week you got the street party Wednesday.
Yep. And you're going to be there.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there with a lot of our crew. And then you got the poker run Friday and races Saturday and Sunday, which you can watch all of the shootout on all Lake TV platforms starting on Saturday at 8:30. Of course, Como Connect, Roku, Amazon Fire. You can also catch it on mylaketv.com. And I talked with Leah Martin yesterday. They got some cool things planned for the pre-race festivities and for the air show this year. And, you know, they talked about that kilo race. That's going to be 2 laps, timed laps, which is going to be kind of cool, which is brand new to the shootout. So Lake TV is going to have cameras all over all elements, so make sure you stay tuned for a lot of those things. It's kind of hard to believe, Chris, that high school football season and Lake of the Ozarks shootout are here.
I know. It's so weird around here because we do get a lot of cool springs that kind of linger on, and then all of a sudden it gets hot, and then all of a sudden shootouts here, and then the summer's over. So it's of course that happens more when you get old like me. Time seems to go faster and stuff. But yeah, I mean the summer is coming to an end already.
So speaking of high school football, a week from Friday, we kick off our 11th season with the live high school football season. Rolla and Camdenton.
Yep.
Pretty excited that Lake TV is going to be on hand for the first game with Par Pitts at the helm for the Camdenton Lakers. And listen, I know they graduated a lot, but I'm not really expecting Camdenton not to be a power in the Ozark Conference this year.
I definitely am, and it'll be an interesting transition from Jeff Shore to Par Pitts. But Coach Pitts has been a head coach elsewhere. Took a team to the state championship.
Won, didn't he?
I'm not sure if they won that, but they went there,
Went
which
to
is
the state championship.
huge. And he won a state championship at Camdenton, I think, back in the 80s. I think so. He knows what he's doing. I think they're going to have a really good, strong program. But there's going to be a lot of good teams in that conference this year. Lebanon's going to be really good again. Glendale just got some news that they lost their famous Hall of Fame coach like 2 weeks before the season. So that's going to hurt them a little bit.
That was kind of a murky relationship over the last couple of years. I mean, that had more drama and more, insight on a high school coach than any high school coach I'd ever seen, issues there with the Mocs and Glendale. But that's a stacked conference. It's a stacked area for high school football. But I'm telling you, without the Shores, I don't think Camdenton's going anywhere. I mean, this is a big-time program, and they got the Durnan, 2 and 3 still there.
That's right, yeah.
A lot of good young players were there last year as freshmen and sophomores. So look out. Of course, we'll have football starting the 25th every Friday night, starting at 6:30 with the COMC pregame show. Hall of Famer Mike Bissell and myself will have the call. You don't want to miss high school football, and then don't miss the high school football coaches show.
That's right.
With Uncle C. You're not completely disappearing from the high school football
No,
scene.
I get to talk with Coach Pitts and Coach Shannon Jolly every week. So every Tuesday through Friday, we will preview that week's game and kind of take a look at what happened last week. If you remember, last year was an amazing season for both Camdenton and Osage. I think they both went to the district championship game. They both ended up losing the district championship, but what great seasons, and we'll see if they can build on that. We'll see how Eldon does. Eldon struggled last year. They've struggled the last few years.
After a great start, too.
Oh, yeah. Year. They were like 3-0, and then it all went bad. But hopefully they'll turn it around. Same thing with Versailles has a brand new conference this year. They got out of the Tri-County Conference. It was getting to be a little too big for them.
Yeah.
So now they've got a new conference. They think they're going to be able to compete a lot more in that conference. So that'll be fun, too. It's going to be a fun football season.
Yeah, we've got them, I think, week 6 or week 7 against Lone Jack.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good one to watch with Coach Warren Seitz. All right, also on Lake TV, Weekend at the Lake with David Leatherberry. Our weekly event preview tells you all the happenings around the lake, from nonprofit events to boating events to cool things that hit the lake on occasion. That's every Thursday through Sunday with Lake TV's David Leatherberry. I already told you about Mini Shootout. I'm going to be out there. Can't wait.
And that Mini Shootout, you can watch from the land, or you can take your boat out there and watch from the water, which
is the springs at Hawatonka.
Yeah,
Are you going out on water?
I'm not sure we're going to be able to go out this year. We were out there last year.
I was going to try to talk you into a ride. I was like, take me out to the Mini Shootout, Uncle C, will you?
There you go.
I like it. We're going to have to talk. Okay, so on the Community Spotlight Show, Daphne Jeffries and Noreen Albers with the Camdenton Historical Museum, and that's the third portion, or the third time they've been on, correct?
Yeah. And so they did 5 different shows with us, taking a look at somewhere in the community, and the history therein, like how Camdenton got started and how Climax Springs got started and all that stuff. So this is installment number 3 with the ladies from the Camden County Museum, and it's great. If you like history, you got to watch this.
Good for you for getting those together, man. That's great. So all of these small towns in the history, you can check out Uncover the Veil and kind of hear the history with Daphne Jeffries and Noreen Albers. And this is only number 3 with 2 more to come on our Community Spotlight Show. Of course, don't miss Happy Hour with DJ Kyle every day at 7 a.m., 5 p.m., and 11 p.m. And then, of course, our doc series, episode number 7, this Thursday. And that goes all the way through September 27th. 3 times a day. Don't miss it there or on all Lake TV on-demand platforms from Lake TV on Facebook, Roku, Amazon Fire, or our brand new website at mylaketv.com. Is that it?
That's it.
All right, until next week, my friends, I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
We'll see you then.